Hello, guys, girls, and everyone in between. This is Rebellious Pastry here, and we have our friend by the name of
Mista.
Mista Boosta.
Hello.
Do you have any announcements for your channel? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up your channel real quick.
Yeah, I don't have any announcements, but I don't have any really big announcements. So I think I might go back to Storytime animation because I don't know. I just feel like Storytime animation it would be fun to do again, and it would also grow my channel a lot more.
Yeah,
'Cause
oh, I think that's why we met, was because you decided to be a Storytime animator, and then you dropped it, and I'm still a Storytime animator.
the only reason I dropped it was because I felt animation was really hard,
Bro, it
but
is!
I,
But that's not what
it's
the
really
episode is about, but yeah, continue.
no. I know.
I'm just telling, my donut batch. Also, did you post, the stream in your,
Community
community
tab,
tab?
yes.
Alright. I'm not, like, trying to push you to do it. It's just, it'd be a good idea to have your base know what you're doing.
It's really That's what I did. I just put the caption, "Come watch me get interviewed."
But yeah, please feel free to check out the Mista Boosta's YouTube channel. And then,
Thank you.
just so you know, I might ask you some questions that I already know the answer to, but the base one. So yeah.
All right,
Alrighty,
got it.
so, shoot. Um, I'm going to pull up the page for the questions.
All right.
I thought I already had it pulled up, but you know how I am.
Yeah.
Kind of a little airheaded on the channel and sometimes off the channel. Alrighty, so Mista Boosta, what are your pronouns?
What are my pronouns? He, him, and yeah, he, him. I don't know. Yeah, I I really delved in much into pronouns, but I guess yeah, he, him.
Of course, I'm gonna ask you for your pronouns.
You are, yeah.
You would think
But
I would seriously. You would probably think I hit my head on something if I didn't ask you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
and then what is your social media? We already covered that one. So what is your hobby?
My hobby is soccer. I've been playing soccer for I think coming up like I think this March would be a year and a half. I played it when I was a little kid, but then I went back to it when I was like I think it was 11, yeah. When I was 11 and I got really good at it. Well, I wouldn't say really good, but I got into it again.
You'd probably do better than me. Where did you find it? Or how did you find it?
How did I find it? I think so I did soccer in when I was little because my parents showed me it and I was just like interested in it.
Shoot,
And then I
oh, I'm sorry, but like I completely forgot. Donut Batch, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me at any time. Make sure you say at Rebellious Pastry to go ahead and ask them, and then
okay.
I'll go. Not talking to you.
No, I know. My God.
Like, why would you be asking questions in the chat?
No, no. I could just type a question. All right, whatever. Uh,
But anyway, so if you have any questions, please at Rebellious Pastry in the chat, and then we'll read them after we're done with the preset ones. Continue with what you were saying. I'm sorry, I'm being a doof.
it's okay. So basically, yeah, my parents showed me soccer when I was like 4. I did that, and then I tried a whole bunch of other sports like basketball and other stuff, but I never liked those until I came across soccer again. I'm like, you know what? I want to try that again. So I did. and I've been doing it for the past 1.5 years, and I'm currently doing indoors with 16-year-old. It's
Wow.
crazy. I know.
Indoor soccer? That sounds like it
Yeah,
would break something.
it would no. So basically, the indoor soccer. There's outdoor soccer, obviously, and then indoor soccer is basically there's a huge like thing. It has like turf, and then the two goals, and there's nothing inside, but it wouldn't break anything.
Okay. Anyway, I just had to go ahead and say that. You know how I
Yeah,
am um being accident prone. But yeah.
yeah.
Um let's see here. Why are you interested in it?
Well, to be honest, it's kind of a easy sport to get the hang of because once like I looked into other sports, but they all seemed very confusing. But soccer, like the point system, is easy to understand, and to be honest, it's just like it's a really fun sport to play, and I can actually understand it.
So like a good learning curve, like a
Yeah,
small learning curve, you mean?
yeah, yeah.
Um so you say that you like it because you wanted a sport that was had a small learning curve?
Yes, because I don't want to have to study up on basketball before I even play the game because that's like I just don't want to have to deal with that. I already know how soccer works, and that's why I kind of chose it.
Yeah. Um um man, questions. Um 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 how much does it cost?
How much does it cost now? Oh, this is a hard one.
This is
I
this
don't.
includes this includes all of the equipment you need to play it.
Well, for equipment, I'd say I think.
If you were to just pick it up one day and be like, "Ooh, this is fun," and you have
I
none of the equipment um already.
I'd say for the equipment, it would cost around like $100 just for the equipment, and for just
Please
being
tell
able
me
to
what that
play.
in please tell me what that would entail.
I think in what that would entail would be like shin guards and a ball to just to practice with.
And
But
then
for the for like just soccer in general, I'd say that would be around like 100, maybe 150, maybe 200. I don't really know the prices that well, but yeah, that's my estimate.
so like how much for the cleats and the uniform?
Oh, the cleats, I'm an idiot. Uh,
It's okay.
the cleats would be around like $50, maybe 100. So it's around like 100 to 200 because cleats, for some reason, shoes are very expensive. I don't know why, but they can be pretty expensive depending on which cleats you get.
And then how about for like your uniform?
I think uniform is free when you pay for like soccer in general because they'll just give you the uniform and at once you pay for like soccer and start playing and practicing games.
Alrighty. And then so like it's a part of like the onset cost.
Yeah,
And then how
yeah.
much for a soccer ball?
How much for soccer ball? Again, just like the cleats, it depends on which soccer ball you get, but I'd say
Range?
50, I'd say 50 to 75.
Wow, that's a lot for a ball.
It is a lot for a ball. But I could be completely wrong. Maybe they could be like $20 or something like that. But again, that's just my estimate.
But alright. And then goal nets.
Goal nets? You don't buy goal nets. I don't. No, you don't buy goal nets unless you like buy just like a goal. Then I'd say those get pretty expensive. But I've never really. I don't think. Yes, I have bought a goal. I think the price would probably, depending on the size, it would probably be like $100, $100 maybe. Just depending on the goal, maybe $100. Yeah,
Yeah, so in total it's about like $300.
300 to 400. Yeah, for just in total.
And then is it something that let's see here. Oh, the second part of that question is it is it one cost or is it something you keep on paying for?
Um, I think you have to keep on paying for like each session. So like it's so basically there's like a bracket and there's 16 games against 16 different people towns. And I think you just pay for that and then you pay for the other session if you want to do that.
Yeah, so you're saying that you're paying for the structuring multiple times? And then how about for
So
like
yeah,
not counting like if something breaks, but like um but would you say like the equipment is one cost or something you keep on paying for?
the equipment is definitely one cost.
And then so like it's basically like a is it like as far as like the payment goes, is it kind of like a Netflix subscription?
I'd say yeah, I guess it would be Netflix is for like the soccer in general, but not for the cleats and equipment.
Yeah, that would be like
So yeah,
paying
kind of
for the
like
TV.
yeah.
But yeah. Um and then um do you make money off of it
Well, you see, I'm a kid, so I don't make money
yet? But
yet.
but now the next question is, do you think you would ever make money from it?
If I go pro, yes, but I don't. If I go pro, yeah, but I don't think I would. I'm not really gonna take it. I'm not really gonna take it seriously because I'm an animator on YouTube,
Yeah,
so
I
I
feel
don't think I'll.
like sports and sorry, continue.
No, you. I
Um
finished up. You can.
so I feel like anything in animation tends to be hard combination. So yeah, that is
Yeah,
understandable. Anyways, so you're saying that you might go pro but not quite sure?
it depends on how this YouTube thing goes. If I'm being honest, if I get big and start making money, then probably not. But you know, it depends.
Yeah. So it's like something to keep in your back pocket.
Hmm.
And then uh um and then how many hours a week do you typically spend on soccer? This includes games, this includes practices, this includes
Well,
putting getting on your things. This
there are
includes
three
transportation.
there are three types of soccer schedules. There would be one indoor, which is only one game per week, no practices. And
Holy.
those usually go for like an hour and a half. Then there's town soccer, which is playing for the town. And that is usually two practices, usually an hour, maybe 2 hours. And then an hour and a half game on Saturdays. And then there's JV, which is or varsity, playing for school, which is practices or games every single day that usually go for 2 hours.
Holy smokes. All right, so
It is.
So, so which one? Wait, so, how many hours a week do you spend on soccer?
For me, I've done all three, but I usually do just town. So I would say I'd spend probably 3.5 hours a week, maybe more, maybe like five. But it all depends.
And that includes individual practice too.
Yes.
All right. Um, and then, how easy is it to have other hobbies?
Um, Again, there's three types of the soccer, but right now indoor soccer would be the easiest to maintain other hobbies. But if you had JV, it'd be the worst because you have to practice every single day, and you won't be able to do much hobbies. So I'd say again, it depends, but I'd say it's pretty easy because JV only happens in September, which I did. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty easy to maintain other hobbies.
Yeah, obviously, because you have the hobby of hell to have other hobbies with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, but um, and then how has soccer helped you?
How has soccer helped me? Soccer has helped me physically very good, especially with JV. You practice every single day with also games, and you're playing with like older people, and it's like it really helped me like maintain my physical health, and it's been really good for my physical health and also my mental health because it's kept me not sad, I guess.
Yeah. And feel free to go as deep into the mental stuff as you want. Just keep everything serious.
I know. All right.
But um, like you don't have to go like how dark how how deep in you go is all up to you.
All
But
right.
yeah. Um, and then what are the downsides to soccer?
Downsides. Well, one of the downsides is that people don't see it as a manly sport here in the US as they do in other countries because in the US we already have American football, which is apparently manly or whatever, and soccer is usually just like other just a separate sport. While in other countries it's like the main. So a lot of people think soccer in the US is just not good unless it's like the World Cup or something. So people like will make fun of you if you play soccer. Uh, and this is coming from personal experience. But
Oh,
yeah, people make fun of you. There's also you know, I think that might be it. Soccer is really a good sport, and that's pretty much the only downside I could think of right off the top of my head.
um, I'm surprised you didn't say like a like I'm not trying to go ahead and dictate what you say here, but I'm surprised you
You
didn't
did.
say anything about like how like the travel time for like um the travel time for
Oh,
games.
yeah, travel time. That's another thing. Um, Travel time, it can also depend on which sport like which type of soccer you're playing. Like usually in the indoor we stay in our own town, but when it comes to town and JV, that's when you have like up to 1.5 hours of traveling time to games in other towns,
Up
which
to
can
an
get
hour and a half. Up to?
up to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how far away it is. But it's usually in the same state.
That's good.
Yeah,
Um
which I'm glad.
but
I'm not
is
traveling that much.
but is there any other downsides?
I think there was one. I just remembered it, but now I forgot it. I hate
How long the game is? The how long the game is?
uh games usually most likely are up to an hour, but they can also be up to 2 hours depending on uh what game you're playing, what type of game you're playing.
What were you gonna say before I was like travel time?
Travel time? Well,
Before I was
I
like,
was gonna
yeah, travel time. Continue.
uh I thought of something, but I forget it now. Hmm.
Is it
All
having
right. Well,
is it having to do with body soreness?
body soreness, yes, they can also overwork you so much. I remember when I first played varsity or tried out for varsity, I had so much aching because they worked this into the ground. We were doing push-ups, we were doing sit-ups for like 10 minutes straight, and it was absolute hell. So yes, body soreness and like they can work you into the ground like if it's necessary, I guess.
Ouch. Have you ever thrown up?
Ever thrown up? No. The worst thing that's happened was like soreness. I remember I woke up the next day from tryouts, and I like every single time I moved, I just an ache of pain just went through my entire body. It was crazy.
Ouch. That does not sound fun.
It
Oh,
was not, but that's only happened once.
also, are you gonna put this show into the Misto's mansion, or am I just gonna put it in self promo?
That's a good idea. I should probably do that. Hold on.
But yeah, sorry, I'm just like, dinking around with the everything with Discord. But yeah, anyways, what else? All right, so because like, yes, this is my show. Hello, Andra, Andra Polska. Um, Feel free to ask our dear friend Mista any questions about soccer.
Hello.
And if your question is not about soccer, then I'm at Rebellious Pastry, so I know you're talking to me. And I'm just gonna warn you now. If your question is not about soccer, I'm going to delete it
Ooh.
because
Okay.
um not gonna time you out or anything. Just gonna delete your question because I've I previous episodes I've had people just like ask about like things that didn't pertain to um the show at hand and whatnot. So yeah. And then
All right.
let's see here. Um I almost forgot the most important question.
Oh. Okay.
It is the whole do you recommend it to others?
It depends on what person you are, but I'd say if you're like getting into sports, then yes, it's the perfect depending on what position you're in. If you're in like a position where you are just starting out with sports and you've never played, soccer is definitely the greatest sport to play, especially when you're like a little kid. But we're not little kids anymore, so
Yeah.
that's kind of irrelevant. But I would recommend it if you're just getting into sports because it's a pretty good starting sport if you want to do it, and also you can go pro in it, which is also
Ooh.
good.
Yeah. So you're basically planning on to do um pro at least something pro.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um and then um let's see here. What position do you play?
Well, I've played every single position, but the position that I usually play would either be midfield, which is everywhere on the field, or defense, which is personally my favorite, where you stay on your side of the field.
every
So,
everywhere
you can
on the
go. No,
field. Everywhere on the field.
yes, everywhere. It so there is a few types of midfield. You could be left, left center, and right. I'm right. So I stay on like the right side of all of the court or all of the field, whatever. Uh, and you have to follow the ball. If the other team takes the ball, you have to go run to defense because then you can't let them score, obviously.
Yeah.
So you got to go help defense.
So
So yeah, you play defense or midfield. Sorry.
so yeah. So are the so compared to American football, are the positions like clean cut?
Clean cut.
Meaning
What?
like
I'm sorry, but
meaning like if or meaning like do you get what I mean or do I need to explain?
no, I think you need to explain.
So
I don't really get it.
so like you know how in football the American football you it's like you're clearly like the quarterback or you're like
Hmm.
um I guess I'll reword this. Is it as strict in soccer what position you are or do you guys tend to cross
Oh,
cover a lot?
uh, it depends. Again, it depends on like how many. It depends on how many players are on the team. Like if you have the right amount of team members
Which
or
is how
more, then
many? Which is how many?
which I uh depending on the coach, I'd say the maximum would probably be like I don't know 10, maybe 11.
So how many
So
players on the field at one time?
that would be 11. That would be 10 or 11. There's There is four or three defense, four or um four or three midfield, or one to two strikers, which is offense. And that's usually the lineup. But again, depending on how many players are on the team, you could either cross cover or it could just be stay in one position.
So is it like depending on the coach and depending on the
It
play
depends.
method?
Yeah, there could be a 3-4-3, which is three defense, four midfields, three offense, or there could be like a 2-4-4, which is two strikers, four midfields. You get the idea.
So yeah, so it just
So
depends on like the strategy.
yes,
So it's not like football where like you're just a quarterback for the entirety of your career.
yeah.
Why do I always think of the quarterback? I don't know.
I, Quarterback is the main position in football.
So what's the main position in soccer?
Probably, I'd say striker mostly, which is offense, because that's usually the one that's doing the most things and is like they go forward, play aggressive, and go to score a goal. So I'd say that's the most popular.
So like the most well known.
Most well known, yeah.
Have you ever had to fight some? Have you ever gotten in a fight with somebody because of the position you wanted?
You don't. So, think about soccer. You don't want. You obviously want a certain position, but you can't choose your positions. That's all up to the coach. So I've never really gotten into a fight over what position. Nobody I've seen has really gotten into a fight. So yeah, I'd probably say that like I've never gotten into a fight over what position.
Okay, so everything's just pre-assigned.
Everything is pre-assigned, and if a teammate gets hurt and has to like go off, then another person will just go and take their place.
So, like, what is your rules about, like, switching out? Like, are you guys allowed to, like, jump in and jump out like they do in hockey?
Well, yes. So there's sometimes where like if the soccer ball goes out of bounds, you could put someone in and then swap someone out. Those are called subs. So those could it depends on what time at of the game. If someone gets hurt, then someone else has to go and take their position depending on how bad the injury is.
Oh. Have you ever seen. This is gonna be kind of a brutal question, but have you ever had to see someone get pulled away by ambulance due to a game?
Ambulance. No, but I have seen someone faint.
Oh no.
Actually, multiple people faint.
Multiple?
Um, yeah, one of them was on a scorching hot day and like it was just too hard. Another person just worked themselves to death and just like was like hyperventilating and fainted. It
Oh
was
no.
crazy.
So was it like a panic attack or was it like just like physically working too hard?
Physically, because like it could be the one day it was scorching hot and it was way like too hot and people like someone fainted and then another person just overworked themselves to the point where they fainted.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So
it
how
was.
so how often does fainting happen?
I haven't seen it in a while. It mostly happens in outdoor soccer, not indoor, because there's more stuff. There's like less ways to faint in indoor soccer, but it doesn't happen very often.
Um so it doesn't happen very often. So so is indoor soccer like more comfortable?
Um, I'd say so, yes. I prefer it more, but indoor soccer is a bit faster than outdoor because so I don't really know why, it just is. Outdoor is a bit like slower and you can gather yourself a bit more. Indoor is a bit quicker. There's fast movement, fast whatever. I think indoor soccer is easier for me because there's less weather stuff that could happen because it's indoor. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Um what do they do if weather cancels your game?
what do they do if weather cancels your game? Indoor, obviously nothing happens. Um, in JV, they won't cancel the game. You just have to play in the rain, unless it's thundering outside and like terrible. Then you won't play. But if it's still raining outside, you just have to play in JV. But they do cancel games if it starts raining or snowing or something like that.
So, yeah, have you ever had a game be canceled due to a tornado warning?
Tornado war. I'm gonna be honest with you, Pastry. I've never been on a tornado or seen a tornado warning.
I've I've been um I've been in a tornado drill, but that's a subject for a video, but yeah. So
Oh,
like what other casualties causes cancellation with games?
Um, forfeits, which is basically like the team just forfeits or they don't have enough players. Um, but it's usually weather because weather can be very very like scatterbrain. Just it can be a bit crazy because I've gotten like a game canceled in the middle of the game before, or like postponed. We were playing in the middle of the game, then a huge rainstorm just came, and we all had to duck under cover.
So
And
what happens what happens when they had to cancel the game in the middle of the game? Do you guys just like keep the scores and like continue once it gets better?
Yes, that's actually what happened, like word for word what you just said. We played a game we played a game in a town. I forget what the name was, but I don't want to say the name, but basically
Yeah,
we were
don't
playing,
dox yourself.
yeah. But yeah, we were playing then in like I'd say around like a few minutes after halftime, it started pouring rain, and everybody like went over to a like there's a little seating area where people could sit, and it had like a roof over it. So we all just went over there and waited for the rain to calm down, and then we just continued playing once it got better, and it was really muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like play regardless sport.
yeah. But if like weather stuff happens before the game, then they'll just postpone it. But if it's during a game, you still have to play once it gets better.
Yeah. Have you ever had to go ahead and continue a game like on a different day due to weather?
Yeah, I'd say I think so.
What
There has been a few
happens?
games.
What happens when that happens?
They usually just get postponed to a different day. Like usually games happen on Saturday, but they could happen on like of other days, depending on like the circumstances of what happens.
Do you think you would ever travel further than an hour and a half for a game in
I
the
mean,
future to come?
to be honest, I would say so, yeah. But you know, if I don't have to, then I won't. But if I do have to, like I have to stay committed to the team. You know what I mean? Because then
Yeah.
I'll just like you have to stay committed. But if I was given the choice to go to a game that was 2 hours away, I would not go because that's 2 hours, and I don't want to have to deal with that to go to a game.
Yeah, just so you know, my other friends who have been athletes have literally like went on like 4 hour like road trips because of
Yeah,
games.
I've heard about that.
Um, would people consider you a jock?
No. Oh, hell no. Uh, People would not consider me a jock. I usually jocks are big cocky douchebags, and I
I feel like you
that
I no, I personally feel like you would be more classified as a wacky animator, but um
I would be classified as probably a nerd or like a weird kid because I animate. I've done a few things in the past that people people don't see as cool, I guess.
but yeah. Um I honestly feel like but yeah. So is anyone on your team considered a jock?
Um, Teams can switch a lot, but I don't think anybody on my team is considered a jock. I play with high school kids. I'm still in middle school, so I don't really know any of them that well to know if they're a jock or considered a jock or not. But I know I'm not a jock, and none of my friends are jocks.
Yeah. I just feel like that tends to be like the stereotype of an athlete.
Yeah, but it can depend. There are other types of athletes out there.
Is it weird to be a part of is it weird to be both an athlete and an animator? Because
Um,
those tend to not be this like those both don't tend to happen in the same person.
I'd say it depends on how you look at it. Like a lot of people at my school see me as more of an animator and not an athlete. But pe- at least in middle school, people just see like you have to at least play one sport or like some extracurricular activity that that you play. But
So have
being
to
and
have to. Hmm.
well, not have to, but it's usually frowned upon if you don't play any sports.
Oh man, yeah. I would
That's because
definitely yeah. So would you so now that I know I asked you quite like I have asked you this question about just the general population, but would you recommend a person like me, a clumsy ass, to play soccer?
You know, I'm,
Clumsy ass.
uh, I don't see you as much of a sports person,
I'm
but
not.
if if you wanted to start playing sports, then I would definitely recommend you play soccer as a starter because I've already said soccer is one of the more easier sports because like baseball, basketball, and like football and stuff are a bit complicated, and soccer is just like kick a ball and goal, you score a point, whoever has the most points at the end wins, and it's not that complicated. So if you wanted to get into sports, then yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I personally don't. Um, I like that's honestly was like a personal question, just because I feel like I would trip and fall multiple times. Have you ever witnessed someone trip on their own foot?
I don't think I have, but if I did have that, that'd be ingrained in my memory because it was really funny.
Yeah, I just feel like I'd be the type of person to trip over their own foot.
I almost did once, and it was a bit scary, but I did. I did. I'm fine.
But yeah, um, so you say you're all around positions. Oh, have you ever been a goalie?
No, that's the only position I haven't played actually.
Oh man.
Uh, to be honest, a goalie is pretty scary. It's probably like one of the scariest positions because I don't like getting a ball to the face. It's not fun. I gotten a ball to the face, and the feeling absolutely sucks.
I've
Neither a ball
uh,
anywhere,
yeah, I've
just anywhere.
I've gotten I've gotten a ball to the face, and I don't even play sports.
It hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I remember I tried being goalie one time, and the person kicked it, and it hit me in the stomach, and it knocked the wind out of me. And it was, oh god, it sucked.
So you
But
know
no,
how? Oh yeah. So you know how soccer don't really have very many. Um. So you. Um. So you know how soccer you don't really have much of protective equipment on.
yeah,
Do you think? Do you think soccer should have more protective equipment?
absolutely not. I don't think so because most of the action is happening down at your feet. You already have shin guards and cleats. I think that's enough. Maybe knee pads would be fine, but that's like the most I'm willing to go. I don't think we should be like football where we're covered in pads, shoulder pads, helmets, mouth guards. I don't think we should have all that. But there is a few other things like sports glasses that like wrap around your head like goggles. But those are pretty. I don't think we need any more equipment
All right.
than we do.
Yeah, I just am asking because of safety and whatnot. So, out of all the sports, would you say soccer is the safest, other than swimming?
Um, well, swimming is safe. Soccer, everybody says it's a wimpy sport. I beg to differ. I don't think it's I don't think it's the safest sport. I don't think it's the safest sport. There's way other sports out there that I don't even know that are probably way safer than soccer.
Honestly, Father Pastry have said that soccer is a wimpy sport.
Wow.
So, do you look up to your do you look up to your state's pro team?
I haven't really looked up to any pro team. I mostly soccer. I take it seriously, obviously, but I'm not like a full like I'm not a full like athlete on the game. I don't like blood. I don't put my blood, sweat, and tears into the game. But I don't really look up to anybody in soccer. No,
But yeah. So have you ever watched a pro game?
I have not. I've watched varsity play, and that was cool. But that's pretty much the only pro game I've ever seen.
I've been to a soccer game. Um, then again, I personally have like attention issues, so I didn't really find it that fun to just sit there and watch.
Yeah, I think the only way I can enjoy sports is
If
if
you
I'm
play
playing.
it,
Yeah,
and
watching it is just
yeah, um, but yeah, I've been to a Rapids game, which everyone already knows I'm from Colorado, so go Rapids, woo! Just kidding.
I just absolutely kicked over my light. I don't know what just
Oh
happened.
no! Oh no!
Oh, hold on.
Are
Hold
you
on.
good?
I'm okay. I just accidentally kicked my light. Just let me plug it back in.
Oh no! Do you feel like you have more clumsy casualties with soccer or your other hobbies?
Definitely soccer. I've had a bunch of crazy things with soccer. But,
What's
all
the
right, the light
worst?
is fixed.
What's the worst injury you've ever gotten from soccer?
Ooh. Mm. I mean, I think my worst injury was one time I got clocked in the face. My glasses went flying into oblivion.
Oh no!
uh, I got hit in the face and I almost started crying,
Oh
but I didn't.
no! Yeah, I
But if I were
yeah.
sorry,
Continue.
oh well, if you count soreness as an injury, then it would probably be the day after my um the day after what is it the tryouts and I every it was really hard to move and it was just not fun. But my worst injury would probably be getting hit in the face.
Oh man, I personally almost threw up during basketball tryouts.
Oh
Which
wow.
that in itself is already a video, so yeah. But do you feel like you would go ahead and make story times about soccer?
I wanted to make a story time about soccer. I wanted to make a story time about the worst team I've ever played, but
Wait, so the worst team you've ever played or played on?
played against
What?
like
Yeah.
no, you go. I was finished.
So what was the worst team you've ever played against? How did they act?
They acted absolutely terribly. I've seen two games where the other team actually played terribly, but I've only played in one of them. The other one I just watched. But the one I played, absolutely terrible. We scored on them 10-1. It was
Jeez.
amazing. I felt so good, and they were so salty. So they, so one of my teammates, I'll just call them, Bob for now. So Bob, he was running to go get the ball, and then the other team, one of the kids from that team, pushed him over and put fists up, like he wanted to fight him for absolutely no reason, and they didn't get a penalty for it, which I was
Wow.
not very happy about.
I've also
And
heard.
then
Oh, continue.
no, you go.
It's it. Hey, I'm asking you questions. So if I'm not letting you answer the question that I asked, then
No, you're letting me. I just, you can
my
say what you
mind's
wanted to
just
say.
like da 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 da. So
Uh,
so that's just my mind. So, um, how close do you feel to your teammates on average? Like as a
I'd
team?
say I'd say as a team we're pretty close. Some of my teammates are my friends from school. Some of my teammates are high schoolers that I don't know. So I'd say I'm on a pretty good standard with my team.
Does your teammate your do your teammates know you're doing this right now?
No, I don't think so. A lot of them know about my YouTube channel, but they don't know that I'm getting interviewed right now.
Yeah. Um, that'd be a cool thing to show, but that's beside the point here. So, like, do you guys do other things other than soccer together as a team?
No, I don't. I don't. No, we don't. We do like we just we know each other, yeah, but we don't play any other sports other than soccer as a team.
But like, I'm talking about like go to the mall one day
Well,
or like
I'm friends with some.
activities.
I'm friends with some teammates, not all of them, but you know, some of them I do hang out with, some of them I don't. So,
And
you know.
and so how would you explain like social dynamics between your team in general?
So, like, what do you mean by that? You mean like how
I'm
I act with certain teammates?
I mean like social dynamics. Just like do you guys really fight at all? Like do you guys
No,
bicker?
we don't. It depends. Sometimes I will make a crappy play. Sometimes someone else will make a crappy play, and we get a bit mad at each other because we made a crappy play. But it's usually a one-time thing. We never like fight or bicker.
So was it like, "Oh man, you sucked this game. I'm
Um,
sorry." And then
that can
do
ha-
better next time.
that can happen, but it rarely does.
But in general, y'all are encouraging to each other, right?
Yeah.
And then um have you ever fainted? I
Have I ever
have
fainted? No.
um and oh, I was gonna ask a question about elevation, then I forgot it, and now I remember it again. So, have you ever had to play soccer in a different elevation than your own?
Like you mean like age group?
Elevation meaning like I'm just gonna say that I am 7,000 feet above sea level.
At a different elevation.
So elevation, like, so you know how um, in like, I'm not gonna say Florida. You know how in like, name a beach state that is not transphobic. Help.
Um, I don't
Hawaii.
know.
Okay, Hawaii. You know how Hawaii is sea level? Most of Hawaii is sea level,
Yeah.
and how um with Colorado we're literally considered the mile high city or mile high state.
Yeah.
Um like those kinds of elevations. Have you ever had to
Yes.
play with serious elevation change?
No, no. I think we've played on the same elevation in like every single game. I haven't. If I have played on a different elevation, I haven't noticed it.
I feel like if you were to come to Colorado and play a soccer game, you definitely would get winded easierly, more easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you haven't had to do different elevations. You haven't had to play in a different state.
No, I don't think so. If I did, it'd be really close to where I live.
Yeah,
And-
you don't have to say state if you don't want to. But yeah.
well, I'll just say I'm on the northeast side of the U.S.
Yeah, I'm personally, I personally say I'm from Colorado. No, nothing else other than I'm in Colorado. But yeah, it's definitely high elevations in Colorado. Colorado is literally known for um, elevations and not channel appropriate things. But
I
yeah.
see.
Um but yeah. Um so yeah, that's a little um interesting thing about my state. But yeah. Um what is the most disastrous game you've ever played?
Disastrous. Hmm.
Like you felt like nothing was going right.
There is one of the games I remember was absolutely wonky. I don't remember. I just have a faint memory of a game going absolutely like haywire. I forget what it was. Hmm. But I'm gonna have to say like the game where we got split in the middle by a rainstorm.
I'm surprised you
I already
didn't
told
say like the overheated game.
the overheated game, that was just really hot. That was just like a really hot day.
Like how hot was that in freaking Fahrenheit?
Up, I'd say above 90 degrees.
Jeez.
It
Um
was very
I'm never gonna sign up for soccer. But that's beside the
it's
point.
yeah.
Why do you think I have different guests on this show?
Hmm.
But yeah, man. Are the like what's your thoughts on the soccer uniform?
Soccer uniform, they can differ. They can be absolutely amazing to absolutely terrible. Right now, mine is pretty good. It has my number on the back of it.
What
It's made of really good material. It
what
has my
number are
name.
you? What number are you? If you feel
I
comfortable
think I'm
sharing.
either 38 or 36. I changed numbers this season. I used to be 71,
Why did
but
you
now I'm 38.
why do you change numbers?
To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I just felt like it.
So, whenever they call you, do they call you by name or number?
Uh, for ref wise, they call you by number. For coach, they call you by name.
So like so the coach is like, Mista!
Yeah, or my real name.
I'm not gonna dox you.
It's not really doxing. I don't mind if you use my real name.
I'm gonna still call you Mista. Deal with it.
I, got it. I get you. I got it.
Like, Mista! What are you doing?
No,
That probably isn't what your coach says. But you get my point.
that being said, I have a ton of nicknames, and my coach came up with one of them. He used to call me Souza.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was very interesting.
but yeah. Um Man, I feel like I'm spamming my chat with. Feel free to ask questions. Mista does not bite, I swear.
I do not.
If
It'd be very weird if I did.
I feel like out of the two of us, the person who would be more likely to bite would probably be me.
I don't.
But that's beside the
I've never
question.
been in. So
But yeah. Anyways, why is there numbers on the back of your shirts? Is that just for the ref?
I think that's for the ref, yeah, because like if someone gets like called out with like a card, like a red card or a yellow card, then they'll say like number 38, get off the field or something like that.
What happens if you get a you said yellow or red card pulled?
Yeah.
What happens?
So yellow card is like a warning. Red card is like a serious infraction that could get you a suspension.
What happens if you get a serious infraction?
Then you get suspended. Like I remember one of the games, someone pushed one of my teammates and they both got suspended for like I think 2 games.
So if you get suspended in like a soccer, do you still have to show up to the games?
You do not have to show up. I don't know, but you can if you want.
But they're just like you can't play.
Yeah, you can't play. You can still show up. You just can't play.
Have you ever gotten suspended in a game? Or
No, I'm a big goody two shoes.
who? So you wouldn't be pushed or get pushed or
I've never
push.
been. I've never gotten an infraction.
But yeah, is there any physical contact that is allowed in the sport of soccer? Or is it a non-contact sport?
To be honest, not much. You can bump into each other's shoulders. You just can't push. You can't like ram into somebody. So it's mild touching.
You can't just like push somebody over.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
Also, I know like for wrestling, weight matters, but does weight matter in soccer?
Um, it can depend. It depends on what position you're playing, honestly. If you're midfield or striker, then you want to be like as nimble and fast as possible. So you wouldn't want to be you wouldn't want to weigh more, but for like defense and goalie, you'd want to like weigh more so you can block the ball more easily and you're not moving as much.
But yeah, so they're not like gonna so they're not like typing you based off of weight.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you're in this weight range, you're on this team.
yeah. You don't get like putting this on a team because of your weight.
Yeah, so like you get put on teams due to age. But what to do if y'all are pro? What to do in the pro
Well,
situations?
pro situations you play for the team with all the pro people or for a club.
Yeah. Um. So, has there been like have you played in more than one league?
I've played in a few leagues. I started when I was 11, so that's U12, and I right now I'm playing in U14. But our team did so good last season. We moved up to U16 with 16-year-olds,
Good luck.
and yeah, it's crazy. We won every single game last season, so we
With
had to be moved up a league.
within yeah. Yeah, so you're pretty much playing with people that are within the pastry cannon age range.
Yeah, I'd say
Good
so.
luck. Um
Yeah, it's scary.
so I would currently say the pastry age range is 15 to 20 currently. Like
Okay.
the pastry age range.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um so what was I saying? All right. But yeah, so you're playing with a lot of 16-year-olds. Good luck,
Yeah.
man. Are they like taller than you?
Oh yes, I'm naturally very tall. I'm 5'7", but those kids are like five, like almost like 5 foot. They're 5'11",
Dude,
pretty much.
just
They're pretty tall.
dude. You definitely have beat me. You definitely have beat me in height. I am a 5'2". I'm 5'2".
5'2". Oh, oh no.
Have you ever been the shortest guy on the team?
Yes. Ever since I moved up to U14, I've been the shortest kid on the team.
So, how do they? So, does that Does that affect like what position you're put in if you're short?
No, it if you basically it a lot of things come to consideration to be put in a position. Like if you're like I don't want to be rude, but if you're like a big person, I guess, then you would be put on defense or like a goalie. Then if you're like swift and fast, you'd be put on like a offense or midfield.
Honestly, if I were to be playing soccer, I'd probably be a goalie.
Goalies have a hard job. I don't know how they do it, to be honest.
Yeah. But wait, do the goalies have helmets?
The goalies do not have helmets, no.
They should.
I mean, they, to be honest, I think they should because I don't. But you're allowed to head the ball in soccer, and that doesn't really hurt a lot
I wouldn't.
unless it's like
Yeah,
towards you.
I probably wouldn't be a goalie because of like off the channel issues. But yeah, like medical problems. But
Hmm.
yeah, continue.
So yeah, a lot of things come into consideration. Uh, if you're a if you're like a older kid, then you're usually going to be put on something that you haven't been on before. If you're a newer kid, then it's pretty much just free range. Because like I've seen a lot of older kids be put on defense when they used to be on like offense and midfield. Well,
So
I'm stuck on midfield.
so they want their like teammates to be well rounded.
Yeah, they want them to be good in every single position.
Yeah, because I think in American football, like um, what so like in American football, I think it's like more set. Like once you're a position, you're a position.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for soccer, it's just like want people to be more well rounded.
Yeah.
So why is soccer called soccer here and football everywhere else, or
To
football?
be honest, I think it's mostly I don't know the reasoning behind the name soccer. I just know we already have American football, and everybody else, everywhere else calls it football. I don't know why ours is not called football. It's like
I feel like
why can
here's all right.
we,
Here, continue.
why couldn't we just call American football like handball or something like that?
Yeah, that would be more accurate.
Be way more accurate or something else. We could call American football soccer and then soccer football. Like it's supposed to. It's a mess. I don't understand.
That's why I ask you the question because I don't understand. You might
Me
have
neither.
better insight.
I don't know.
But yeah, now I have a question. Would people bully you more for playing soccer or bully you for playing not a sport? For not a sport.
Well, it depends on your coolness level, I guess. In middle school, people will usually bully you if you don't play sports. But if you just don't like soccer in general, then you will mostly get bullied for playing soccer. But if you play no sport, that's also pretty bad.
I never got bullied for not
Yeah.
playing a sport. I tried. I swear. What are the most common soccer injuries?
The most common soccer injuries: twisted ankle, mostly broken like feet or ankles, because usually most of the action happens down there. But there could also be a lot of stuff like concussions if you get hit in the head with a ball, mostly everywhere because you get kicked by a ball. Well, wait, that sounds weird. You could get kicked if someone kicks a ball into like your body. So you could have a lot of
Like a groin shot.
yeah. Those
Oh
hurt a
no.
lot.
Oh no. How often do you get a groin shot?
It's more often than getting hit in the head. I'll tell you that.
Oh no. do they let you sit aside for that?
Yes, because if someone falls to the ground, everybody takes a knee on the field, and then you get another person to come and take your spot.
How
So
often?
usually for any injury, it's like a lot, then you'll get like help.
So how so how often do groin shots happen?
A lot. One of them happened last. It was not. It was not fun. Not to me, to another person, but it happens pretty often.
Yeah. And then now so like with women's teams, I feel like that would happen less.
Well, the injuries would still be there. It'd just be way less like hurtful than with boys because reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, what other injuries cause people to fall in soccer?
Usually it's not many. If you fall, that's usually something bad. Like if you get kicked in like the shin or like the knee, usually anywhere. It could be like if you get hit in the stomach, that could make you fall because it hurts so much. But usually, if it's something very like if you like can't play because of it, then you get put off. But it could. Uh, there's a few.
So, how long on average do you spend on the field per game?
Well, it depends on how good you are. If you're really good, you can spend up to like the entire game on the field. And but if you're not very good, I'd say you at least spend like 15 minutes on the field. You have to spend at least 15 minutes on the field, basically.
But what happens if you don't get the 15 minutes?
Well, nothing really happens, but that's just my estimate. That's usually like the amount of time minimum that you would get on the field.
Yeah. Um, are you would you consider yourself a clumsy person?
Uh, Sometimes.
I probably am clumsier than you. But yeah. So um what other interesting soccer stories do you have?
I think we covered a lot of them. I don't really have any other interesting soccer stories.
So, so is there I thought I was going to ask this and my mind went whoosh, but do different leagues have like slightly different like rules, like slightly different?
Yes. Uh-huh. So if you're like a little kid, you're not allowed to head the ball. But once you get like a little bit older, I'd say around U10, U12, that's when you can start heading the ball. And it that those have slightly different rules. There is just a few others that are a bit basic, but that's like the most major one I could think of.
But yeah, so like with pro, would it be different rules?
Yes, I'd say so.
So how hard is it to switch around rules, like rule sets?
It's not that it depend. It's not that hard.
Yeah. And what happens if you're like used to one set and then you accidentally make an infraction in another set?
Well, I to be honest, I don't really know. I don't. I usually stay with the same rules
But yeah,
mostly.
is there a possibility of getting expelled from the team?
Yes, if you usually you need good grades in school. So like if you have an F, then you're probably gonna you need good grades to stay on the team.
No, I'm talking about like to get kicked off of the team due to something that you did in soccer.
Oh, then yes. If you like argue with the ref, if you do like something very bad, like if you push a kid over and start like, or if you, I don't, you, there's multiple things that could happen. It's mostly just like infractions that could get you banned.
Oh, so like, do you get suspended then banned, or is there like some like things where it's like if you do this bad, you're out forever, no matter what you've done
It
before?
can be there's a there's a there's a few things. There can be um you can be banned indefinitely, you can be banned just for a temporary, but it usually depends on how bad the thing you did is.
Yeah. So so do you tend to go ahead and play until you get tired and then someone else takes over in general?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, have you ever stayed on the field for the entire game?
No, because I'm not that good. Uh I usually stay on for like the entire half of the game. Like I'll stay on for about like I'd say like 7 minutes at most, and
Seven
then I'll get put off.
7 minutes on the field?
Well, not for the entire game. That's usually like a little session. Like usually some people start off, then I get subbed in, play for 7 minutes, then go off because I'm tired, and then I go back in for another time.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I just
Yeah.
thought I for whatever reason I thought for soccer you had to play the entire game.
Oh no, because then everybody would have to be like top tier. It'd be a really hard sport if that happened.
But yeah, what is the hardest thing about soccer?
I'd say keeping up with your stamina because like you have to run a lot in soccer, like especially in midfield, you have to run like up and down the field. You have to like keep your breath because you need to be fast, agile. You need to be like really good. You have to be like have a really good stamina to be able to like run for a very long period of time.
I could never.
It's really hard.
I could never personally. But yeah. And this is why I do this show. But yeah. Um, let's see here. What color is your team currently?
What color is my team? This is for the town. It's black or orange. It's mostly orange. It's like our town mascot, I guess, is a tiger.
Oh, that makes
I
sense.
Yeah, like the main color is orange.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, town mascot. Interesting. I didn't know towns had mascots.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
None of the ones I've ever been in have had one. Maybe it's a
Well,
non-Colorado thing. I don't know.
who knows?
But yeah. What is your personal least favorite part about soccer?
Hmm, I'd definitely say it's the refs. The refs can be really good or absolutely terrible. It's usually the latter. They can be very terrible a lot of the time.
What happens
But
if
some
you
of them,
get stuck with a very terrible ref?
well, nothing really happens. It's just like a lot of the team gets mad,
What hap-
but nothing really happens.
Oh, continue.
No, that was just
So,
that.
what happens if like what happens if you get a lot of infractions due to a bad ref?
Well, then you get still suspended because they don't care if it's a bad ref or not. It's usually just personal preference.
But yeah. So um Yeah. Um. So. So what makes a ref bad?
Well, there could be a few reasons. There's like rigging it for the other team. There could be not calling or or calling something that is just not necessary. Like if someone gets pushed to the ground, it's supposed to be a red card, but they could put a yellow card up for some reason.
Hmm.
But it's multiple things.
Is there an orange card or just um red and yellow?
Uh, uh, there's just red and yellow.
So like a yellow card's like um
Our yellow card is warning,
so
and then a red.
how many yellow cards can you get pulled in one game?
To be honest, I don't know. That hasn't happened enough for it to be like engraved into my memory, so I don't know that one.
So how big are these cards?
They're like little tiny cards. They're about the size of like Uno cards.
Oh.
It's like a ref pull it out of their pocket and then hold it up.
So who else sees the card?
What?
So who else sees the card when the ref pulls it up?
Who else needs the card or
Who else sees the card?
sees? It's everybody. If the ref holds up something, it's the coach, the team, the like audience. There's everybody sees the card.
Do they get cards pulled in pro?
Yes, cards get pulled everywhere.
What happens if you get a red card? Like, do you get banned for the rest of the game, or?
It's to be honest, I don't really know the red card system. I haven't seen it enough times for it
So
to be
you're too
ingrained in my
good.
memory.
So you're too good to go ahead and have.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. I could see that. But yeah, have you had like a bad teammate?
Uh, Not really. Most of my teammates have been pretty good.
How would the team treat a bad teammate?
Well, the coach wouldn't. I don't think the coach would allow them to play, he'd just be told off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever played on any co-ed teams?
Any what?
Co-ed teams. Like
Co-ed?
co-ed meaning like both both sexes.
Uh, no, I don't. No, I have not. Actually, I might have. I think when you're like a little kid, when you play soccer, it's all genders, but then it's just split into boys and girls.
You can.
Well, I don't know if there's another team. I don't know though. I don't know. I could be wrong. There could be.
Yeah, I know that sports tend to be very like it's a very heated topic, but like I know for a fact that um that sports tends to be very iffy with people who have the LGBTQ plus community, but we're not going to get too far into that because we're not a political channel.
Mm,
But I might ask you after the show for the for opinion, but not on air.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, um, but yeah, uh, have you? So like, what is the other sports you've tried?
I've tried basketball. I've tried gymnastics, which I actually got the hang of for a few years.
Oh hey,
I've
I actually know a gymnast.
I was once a gymnast. I
Yeah.
don't anymore. I've tried Ninja, which I do. It's like
What's
American
Ninja?
Ninja Warrior. It's like
Oh
American.
man. Yeah.
So that's pretty. I still do that, and I think that's it.
So what
I
kind?
haven't tried many of
Oh yeah. So what kind of stretches do you do to prepare for games?
stretches, high knees, butt kicks, lunges. Open the gate, close the gate, which is where you like lift your knee up and then like move it in a certain direction.
Oh man, I think I've done all of those except for open the gate, close the gate. But yeah. Um, what is the most? Oh yeah. Did I ask you what is the most brutal injury you've seen?
Yeah.
um, but yeah. What have been your favorite team so far?
Favorite team? I'd say probably my team last season. There was like 20 of us, and most of them were my friends. And I think that was a pretty good team.
So, have so I have a question. So, like, have you made your friends from soccer, or did you convince your friends to play soccer?
I made some friends from soccer. I haven't really convinced anybody to play soccer.
Maybe you might convince someone from the batch. I don't know.
Maybe.
You're very convincing, um, but out of all of the episodes I've done so far, I feel like soccer would be the least likelihood of me actually doing.
Hmm.
But yeah. Anyways, huh, um, so how big is the indoor soccer field?
It's mostly the same as a normal soccer field, but it could be a bit smaller.
What makes the indoor soccer feel or what makes the inside soccer faster?
I don't, to be honest, I don't know. I think it's just about like the confined nature of it because you're like in a confined space, so it's a
Is it
bit like faster.
is it because the ball is like bouncing off walls?
Yeah, balls are bouncing off walls. It's just faster in general.
How far has the ball ever been kicked out off of bounds? Out of bounds. How
Oh,
far out of
it's
bounds?
out into the street. So, I remember there was one team. It was the team that actually absolutely sucked. Their like field has like a giant net but behind the two uh goals and then just a tiny fence. So usually we have to keep on switching the ball because it always like rolls out and on into the street and it's so annoying.
So who gets the ball?
If one team kicks it out, if one team kicks it out, then the other team gets it.
But like who runs for the ball? My
Oh,
bad.
who runs
For the
who runs
ball.
for it's usually the it depends on where the ball is because if if it's on like the opposite team side, it's the offense in the midfield. If it's on our team side, then it's on that it's the defense in the midfield.
So like one of you guys hops off the field and goes in the street and grabs the ball.
Yeah.
Oh. Would another one of you hop in then? Or no?
No, basically it basically when a ball goes out of bounds, someone picks it up and then throws it in. And then they go back in to the game.
Okay. So have you ever had to get a ball from the street?
Yes, multiple times.
How do you guys do like a quick rock, paper, scissors to see who has to get it?
No, we just all whoever's the closest just goes and gets it.
Oh.
because it needs to be quick. It needs to be quick. You can't just do rock, paper, scissors to see who gets it.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like you guys are like definitely closer than I would have ever thought. But yeah.
Yeah,
I personally don't think I'll ever understand the closeness of like a sports team.
yeah.
But not everyone plays sports.
Hmm.
Um so what is all the different penalties? Or like what's all the ways you can break the rules in general?
Well, you can uh you can you can purposely hit somebody. You can like purposely like injure somebody. You can what else can you do? You can say you can say insults. That's not allowed.
You can or
Or you can
can't.
like you can't make insults. Or you can't like be rude to the other team and not show sportsmanship.
That makes sense. So like how strong a sportsmanship do you have to um show to the
Just
other team?
a lot of sportsmanship. There's no limit or the minimum. You just need to show sportsmanship and not be rude to the other team.
How often do people actually be rude to the other team?
Uh, a bit often. I wouldn't say every single game, but a lot.
So like people would just like off the field just be like
Yeah, yeah.
no 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 no.
It's,
Oh man. You're definitely having fun with this, aren't you?
yeah.
But yeah, if you were me, what would you ask yourself?
To be honest, I don't know.
I just personally like to ask that question so I don't like miss something completely. Wait a minute, do you guys have short or long sleeves?
It depends on the temperature. It's usually short sleeves. We have short sleeve uniforms, but you can wear stuff under it depending on the temperature.
Huh. Um, do you personally have problems with heat?
Uh,
Don't need to
if it's
say
really
if it's like a medical reason or not, but
no, it can be either really hot or really cold. It doesn't really matter to me. I just go with the flow. Really.
I personally can't deal with heat. So, yeah. I feel like there's a lot of deal breakers with me in soccer. Why do you think I'm not playing soccer?
I don't know.
But yeah. But yeah. Um um have you ever been bullied by someone else on your team?
No, I have not, and I want to keep it that way.
Have you ever bullied someone else on your team?
No, I would never do such a thing.
Yeah, I know you, but I was just wanting to ask just in case.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I know you. Um, uh, I know you pretty well.
Yeah,
Well enough to know that you're not gonna go completely ballistic on my show.
yeah. I haven't gone ballistic.
Yeah, but I think you guys have shorts, not pants,
Yeah,
right? Do you guys have a
yeah.
hat?
No, we do not have hats.
Hmm. Um. Uh. Um. What else is there? Have you ever considered trying American football?
Yes, I want to, but my mom won't let me.
That's a very common answer.
Yeah,
If I was a male at birth, Mama Pastry wouldn't have let me either. That's just one of those things. So like
yeah.
how hard is it to get your schoolwork done with sports?
Uh, the schedule has like a lot to do with that. But it can be pretty easy if it's like right now when you only have one game a week.
Have you ever had to miss a class for a game?
Yes, actually, I have. I You get dismissed early because like in junior varsity, you can get like dismissed early at like 1 o'clock to go to a game.
Yeah. Um, think you'll ever be considered a jock?
Absolutely not. I am still a nerdy animator.
Yeah, that like just based off of your character design, it doesn't scream jock.
Yeah, definitely not.
Especially how I've drawn him.
I mean, I think I look good in your style. I think
Yeah.
I look good.
I said I'm not necessarily jockish, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I definitely feel like yeah. Um, so do you feel like soccer ever gets in the way of anything in your life?
definitely YouTube. It can get in the way of YouTube. It can like if you look at my channel for like a bit of September, you can see like the uploads kind of stopped because because at that point school was starting and like it was just really hard to keep up with everything.
Have you ever had to play soccer with snow on the ground?
No, there's been little dustings of snow, but that's about it.
So what time is soccer season normally?
It's every single time except
Say like what
summer.
season? Okay, everything but summer.
Everything but summer.
So it's like so in winter do you guys just play indoor soccer?
Yeah, in winter it's indoor.
Um
In spring fall it's outdoor.
GMG, you um you're not allowed to ask about Larry during a soccer stream. I'm
Oh
sorry.
god. Wait, is he in the chat? Yeah,
Yeah, he's in the chat.
he
No,
is
we're
in
not
the
talking about Larry. We're talking about soccer.
yes. Larry doesn't play soccer.
Soccer. Have you ever considered playing soccer with Larry?
Well, he's a snowman. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, just for everyone that knows Mista Boosta's channel already, he has a cardboard snowman.
yes, and he's gonna have a kid soon. James, I swear to God, I'm sad to hear.
Does Larry play soccer?
With a donut. Why is there a there?
Um, to get my attention. That was the old attention tactic before I decided to do the at shit.
I see.
It's a way to just get my attention, but yeah. And no questions about Larry this episode, please. This is a audience
Yes.
interview show.
Larry is in everything, GMG. All right? You, you need to take a chill pill.
Goat meets ghost. Man. All right. Anyway, how sweaty do y'all get?
A lot. It can depend on the weather.
I literally
But
saw my body spray and I'm like, all right, sweat. But yeah. Um, do you guys have to wear extra deodorant on game days?
yes, yeah, you do because then you'll be very stinky after the game, and it's not very fun.
So you literally have to wash your uniform when you get home.
Yeah, JMG just asked a question that's actually related to soccer.
Good for him. I'm gonna read it. So hear me out. What is better, soccer or football?
I'd say soccer because that's the one I play.
Yeah. I feel like
But
football has more injuries.
football is pretty fun. I have played it before, but like at like recess and stuff, not like an actual league.
I also have back when recess was a thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, we're not reading that second part because it don't have to do with the show.
Yes. GMG.
Football is another word for soccer. That's my joke.
That was a very funny joke. Ha 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 ha.
um, yeah. Um, do you guys get really hungry after games?
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah.
Also,
You,
do you guys get like stuff like either Gatorade or Pedialyte or
it's
whatnot?
only water that we're allowed to drink. No Gatorade and stuff.
So why is it only
Some
water?
because water is just like water. It hydrates you. Some people do bring sometimes when it's like really hot out, people will bring ice pops and we can have those. We just can't have too many because they have sugar and can make us cramp.
Oh, so sugar makes you cramp in sports?
Yeah.
Hmm.
GMG. What the heck are you talking about?
um.
You just asked deep soccer ball.
Okay. Should I take his wrench away?
Yes, I think you should take his wrench away. Look at him. Look at he's making jokes about football and soccer.
No. Oh, I'm just gonna say knock it off if you don't want your wrench taken. But yeah.
Yeah.
But eh, no need. So like personally, with you being a guest, you don't really need to worry that much about the chat.
Yeah.
But
But I can GMG talking about Larry in the chat.
yeah, man, us and our inside jokes that are inside. But yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, do you tend to form a lot of inside jokes with your teammates?
Yeah, you can. Especially in junior varsity, there can be a whole bunch of like nicknames for people. There can be a whole bunch of inside jokes, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Let's see here. Is soccer your favorite sport? I already asked that, but
Yeah, it is.
yes. Um, yeah, I've already asked that. But yeah, eh, um, let's see here. Do you guys like have to shower after games?
Yes, most definitely.
I could
Because
not
games are crazy.
I could not imagine sweating that much. Oh. Ah.
It's a lot.
Um, but yeah. So we mentioned cramping. So cramping
Uh-huh.
is um what country do you root for? Talking about
Well,
World Cup stuff.
World Cup stuff. I'd say definitely Portugal or Argentina.
So do
Wh-
you so do you pay attention to like the world leagues?
No, I do not. But I just like Messi in Argentina because, they won the World Cup and it was awesome.
Um, has anyone ever fainted due to not eating properly before a game?
No, that's not happened.
Do you guys have to watch what you do and do not eat due to soccer?
Yeah, because you can easily get get a cramp depending on what you eat.
Hmm. So, like, I know you're probably not going to be the most scientific thing in the world, but, like, why do certain things cause cramps?
To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I think it's because of the materials inside.
No, USA isn't bad at soccer, said no one ever. That's because
Yeah,
they go ahead and decide to say about I just made a not smart decision. Um no hard candy during streams. Apparently.
I see.
I'm sorry. But yeah. Um anyways. Um so yeah. So no Gatorade during. So like are you allowed to have Gatorade after?
Yeah.
Or is it not a good idea?
No, Gatorade after is fine.
Yeah. Um what's your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
That's a good question. I think it'd have to be blue.
Do you tend to go through a lot of Gatorade as an
Uh,
athlete?
I, I don't have much Gatorade, and I wouldn't say so.
But yeah. Um it was a joke. I I have a joke, but I don't want my wrench taken away. Good.
Hmm.
I have to keep GFG in line.
Yes, GMG needs to be in line.
But I platonically love him. And you too.
Yay.
But yeah. So, let's see here. I do cleats have laces?
Yes, they do.
What happens if a shoe gets untied?
Well, that's not good.
Um, I'm not gonna take it down, but I'm not gonna read it. Um,
I see what you're saying.
it's not bad. It's just
I
students
it did.
that does not count. I think
Yeah, it does not
that
count
does
as a
not count
question.
as a question.
All I'll say is no, GMG. I have not.
You've not had a cake that looked like a soccer ball, man.
Yeah, no.
GMG, ask more about the sport, not about things that look like the sport.
Oh god, GMG is something.
Man, you know that I can time out mods, right?
Oh, she's really gonna say
Gee!
shit.
Screw off! Just kidding.
I am so sorry.
Bro, yesterday's
Fumble.
stream, I'm like,
I
yeah,
I
yes.
fumble with so much.
But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So what put
All right,
I already answered, or I already asked that. He plays almost all positions.
Mr. No, GMG. No, I've learned multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Is GMG distracting you too much?
No, he's fine. He's fine.
Just ignore the chat. Ignore the chat.
Okay, I'll.
Okay?
All right.
Don't don't let some chicken or
Don't.
a don't let some chicken legs hurt you, okay?
All right.
Is
They
it
won't.
Oh, and speaking of chicken legs, is is um is it good to have protein before games?
Yes, but not a food. Is that could well a food that could is hard to digest because that could mess you up.
What team? He is a part of like a state team. Or not state team, school team.
Yes, school team, school team.
Freak.
I don't. Yeah.
But yeah. Um what is the name of the league if you're allowed to say?
Uh, I don't have a name for the league.
Protein shakes. Yes,
Am I
no.
right?
Yes, no on the protein shakes.
No, I don't like protein shakes.
Um, so what's the best game day meal?
Game day meal. To be
Like,
honest, I think it's just like a good bowl of cereal. Unless it's like a very night game, then I don't really know.
so you say eat a bowl of cereal before a game, not like protein. There's milk,
I
but
guess not. I don't
hmm.
really know. I have never really eaten anything before a game.
So it's best not to eat, not to have to play a game on a full stomach.
Yeah, because then your digestive system will go wild.
So do you wear glasses or contacts during a game normally?
Well, you see, here's the thing. I do not have contacts, so I wear glasses.
Think you'll ever get contacts?
I I've thought about them, so I guess yeah.
I used to have glasses, and I had like a weird fluke happen to where I don't need them anymore. But
Hmm.
like um so I personally like thought about eye contacts, but then like I couldn't like think about touching my eye that way. Bro, I always eat before a game. He broke 62 pairs of glasses.
You counted you?
That, yeah.
How do you even know that I've broken glasses?
Maybe he scrolled back or like rewound the stream a little bit. You did say that you broke glasses. How many pairs have you broken?
Four.
4 pairs.
Yeah,
And
four
do you have to pay for a replacement or is it
Yeah,
part of the sport or does the sport
n-
pay for it?
no, you have to repair it.
Alrighty. That's it for the question or like the show. Other than our closing announcements, what would you like to say for your closing announcement,
Closing.
Mista?
Yes.
Sorry,
I,
my mouth does not want to work.
okay.
But
So, sorry, you can go.
no, you first on the
Okay,
closing
all right.
announcements.
So for closing announcements, I'm going back to Storytime Animation, so you can see more Storytime Animations on my channel if you want to go subscribe to it.
Yes.
Yay! But I don't really have any other announcements for the donut batch. But I do want to say thank you for having me on Pastry. This was awesome.
You're welcome. Anytime I have time, anytime we have a slot open, that isn't like immediately after this slot, um,
Let's
we'll
go.
have you on, again, is what I should say.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
as for me, I literally was an idiot and forgot to say my opening announcement, so that
Oh.
is interesting. I never said anything about my channel or like what's going on with it. So, does that make me a bad person? No.
No, not really.
But yeah, as for me, my only announcements, because I was not the most put together like I am always. So this week we posted the Valentine's Day card exchange video. So
And I,
Mista's in it, by the way. He sent me a
yeah.
Valentine's Day card, and I forgot if it was like if the first time was I drew your character was that, or it was the show thumbnail. I think it was the show thumbnail because I tend to do a lot of them at once. Just like, for whatever reason, I do like 5 show thumbnails at once. And then just like lay off for a few. But yeah. So we got, now I'm going to be very disappointed in you if you do not have one of these. Guess what I'm going to say?
What?
Guess.
Oh, guess?
Guess what I'm going to say?
I do not know.
I'm going to be very disappointed in you if you do not have a or an. It'd be an in this case.
All right.
An outro.
An outro. I do have an outro.
Say it.
An outro. I don't say anything for my outro. I just have an outro. I usually, actually, you know what I do?
What?
That was weird. So at the end of my videos, I spin around in my chair. So I will like at the end I'll like be on the camera and then I'll like salute and go bye and then spin around in my chair and
but
then usually everything.
The camera is not on.
That's the thing. So
show.
I guess I'll just go.
Imagine if one day like my guest just stole my outro. Just like, oh, do you have an outro? And then they just say mine.
Mine is just bye guys, or in this case, bye donut batch.
All right. My outro changes depending on if I'm on my show or not as well. But yeah, I platonically love you, my donut batch, and see you in the future to come. Bye.
Bye bye.
Hold on.